What is up, y'all? It is time for another Joshua Tree update. It's been a couple weeks and I wanted to show you guys the progress. The second leaf is pretty much just as tall as the first leaf is now. It's kind of, we're getting some afternoon sun, so I almost have to film it from the opposite angle, but it's doing quite well. And these smaller pots really run out of water really quickly, and so and this plant, the fact that it's growing so much, it requires a little bit more water, so I have been giving it a little bit more water, and I'm not too afraid at this point of overwatering it like I was my previous plants. I think maybe we've sort of arrived at a new level on this plant now, where it's really taken root. And you know, my biggest problem is that I don't like where it is in the pot. I would really prefer that it was in the center of the pot, so that way the roots would have room to move out in every single direction, right? But unfortunately, where it is in the pot right now, the roots can only move in certain directions, and that is going to stunt its growth eventually, because it's not able to, the roots are not able to move out in this direction at all. And so eventually I will have to repot this plant, and it's really when I'm feeling confident enough to be able to do that is when I'll do that. But anyway, that's how she looks now. She, I guess it's a he if we named it Bono, but anyway, so I usually make these updates in the morning, but I waited till the afternoon to make this one, so it's getting sunlight from a totally different side that it usually does. Moving on to my Mexican fan palm over here. As you can see, this is the new leaf that I had. I was marking it with a Sharpie a couple different places, and now it's really starting to fan out. It's really starting to come out, and then what it exposed when you come over here is it exposed that there's another stalk in the middle that's coming up kind of right behind it. And so still watering this one quite heavily, and it doesn't seem to be reacting negatively to that water. It seems to be reacting positively to it, so everything seems to be good there. Another thing I mentioned was in my last video was that I was going to have a little experiment with this cactus down here, turning it this way to try and see if we could get that weird shape to go away, get it to flatten out. It's been 2 weeks. Doesn't really seem like anything has happened with regard to that, so it might be permanently deformed. Might be, I don't know. But this side doesn't really get any sunlight any part of the day now, because you know, the sun just hits it from the other side as it goes across the sky, and pretty much shadow on this side all day long. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it sort of is what it is. My Madagascar palm, these top leaves have been growing out really nicely, and lost a couple leaves on the bottom, which is normal. The water needs to go toward the higher, newer leaves, and then it just starts to neglect these lower leaves. In fact, I can probably pull this one off right now. Yep, just comes right off without much force. But yeah, I'm really happy with where the Madagascar palm is going, how it's looking. You know, they always say if it's pushing out new leaves, then don't change anything. You know, if it's growing and it's looking healthy and it's pushing out new leaves, there's no reason to change what you're doing as far as the position or how much you're watering it, or repotting it or anything like that. In fact, I repotted this thing a while ago. I put it in this blue pot, I don't know, a few months ago. But anyway, that's kind of a general plant update. Hope you guys like it, and I know I don't get really a lot of people following this series, but that's okay. It's satisfying to me to do this, and so I'm going to keep doing it. Eventually this Joshua Tree is going to push out a third leaf. Maybe we'll use the third leaf, like once it pushes out a third leaf, that we'll use that as a marker for when I should repot this. And what I'm thinking about doing is I'll put it in a larger pot that can retain water a little bit better, so I won't have to water it so often. and I'll obviously place it in the center of that new pot. Maybe that's what I'll do. Just be a matter of when that happens. So, all right, guys, talk to you later.